Welcome to the 2025 State of the City Address.
Oki.
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 Oki. Oki and welcome.
We acknowledge that we're gathered on the lands of the Blackfoot people of the Canadian Plains.
We pay respect to the Blackfoot people's past,
present,
and future. We recognize the thousands of Indigenous peoples
from many diverse nations
call Lethbridge home,
including members of the Blackfoot Confederacy,
of the Six Gates of the Beat,
Akana,
Pikanyu,
Siksika,
Amskapi Piklan,
as well as other First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples.
We respect Indigenous peoples' cultural heritage,
beliefs,
truth,
and relationship to the land
that stretches back in time.
We will not blink at history.
We will not blink at history.
and we will learn from it.
Oki is an invitation.
A step forward.
In Blackfoot, Oki means hello.
Oki means hello.
Hello.
Oki.
Oki.
Oki. Oki, and welcome to the lands of the Blackfoot people.
The city's Oki video was originally launched in 2021, aligning with City Council's adoption of Oki as the city's official greeting. The video was created for the community as a resource to further education and awareness about the Indigenous history of Sikokitoki, Lethbridge. Thank you to the Lethbridge Chamber of Commerce and to Davidson Williams for the opportunity to present the 2025 State of the City Address. Lethbridge is the third largest city in Alberta, and we consistently demonstrate a sustainable and healthy rate of growth. This stability, as well as steady growth and retention, allows the City of Lethbridge to plan effectively for the future of our community. We know there are some challenges in 2024 that will carry here into 2025 and beyond. There are also plenty of great news stories for the City of Lethbridge. I want to open with this. On behalf of City Council and City Administration, I want you to help us to set the tone in the community. Help spread good news. Continue to be a part of the solutions for challenges and find ways to get involved. The best way to move forward is together. We're in the final year of the council term with myself and councillors Mark Campbell, Jeff Carlson, Belinda Croson, Reiko Dodick, John Middleton Hope, Nick Palladino, Ryan Parker, and Jen Schmidt-Rempel. I'm so honored to be a part of this wonderful assembly of 9 people from different backgrounds who have come together with the common goal of the betterment of Lethbridge for our residents. This council has been incredibly respectful. We may disagree on certain topics or ways to approaching something, but we value each and everyone's opinions and recognize that a decision becomes a decision of council. Council will continue to work with our local elected representatives, MP Rachel Thomas, MLAs Nathan Newdorf, and newly elected Rob Miyashiro, and the other orders of government for the collective goal of creating a better Lethbridge and to advocate for the resources and funding our city needs to address key issues. We will push to further secure and advance our business sector's needs so we can be the first place investors and businesses come to when they look to open new doors and new ventures. This term is not yet over. Last June, we approved an updated Gateway to Opportunity City Council Action Plan that outlines the priorities for the remainder of Council's term. With support of City Administration, the priorities have been clearly defined and resourced to ensure these important goals can be accomplished. The Action Plan outlines 26 projects and priorities, including master plans, that will guide us to the future growth and development of Lethbridge, as well as strategies to address current needs and challenges. I want to show this graphic outlining government roles and responsibilities. This will help provide some further context for some of the topics for this presentation. One of the biggest components of the municipal level is to advocate other orders of government for further supports in the city. Council members and administration are always striving towards collaboration and further intergovernmental work on several fronts. State of the City 2025 will focus on these sections: top issues and priorities, city finances, major community and regional partners, and some more good news. And then, of course, before we go. Some of the topics in this section may sound a bit familiar to last year. it will come as little surprise that you're about to hear more about water and wastewater, the Lethbridge and District Exhibition, public safety, housing, and physician recruitment. As I mentioned last year, this is by no means a full or exhaustive list. The Big C City of Lethbridge Corporation is not the only exclusive municipality facing similar challenges, and the City of Lethbridge is not solely responsible on jurisdiction on some of these matters. These are issues happening in our community. However, we have the responsibility to do what we can within our roles and continue to advocate in areas of need to the other levels of government. A year ago, we were all quite concerned about a major drought happening in 2024. While thankfully the worst case scenario didn't play out last summer, this issue may still be of major concern in the years to come. I was proud of the city's preparedness in 2024 with our water conservation plan and strategy, updated water rationing action plan, and the Water Wednesday weekly series providing information and tips on water conservation. I want to again thank the community for their voluntary conservation measures last year. Water is not an infinite resource, and as the city's population continues to grow, the process to provide water and wastewater services to residents and businesses becomes a more pressing issue. Lethbridge's municipal water and wastewater treatment systems require substantial capital upgrades and expansion to meet the anticipated near-term and long-term growth in regional and industrial demands, which would facilitate economic development in the city and region. On peak days, water treatment demands near 100% of the current design capacity. We are very thankful that the province is funding a $2.8 million detailed expansion design cost, which will help us meet projected water demand during the next 5 years and beyond. The planned upgrades will enhance treatment reliability and ensure Lethbridge residents continue to receive high-quality water. The increased capacity will also help meet the high and growing demands of the agri-food sector. The benefits of the project stretch beyond Lethbridge city limits. For example, 20% of Lethbridge's treated water supplies regional communities including Lethbridge County, Coaldale, Colehurst, Monarch, Diamond City, Picture Butte, Iron Springs, and Turin. The comprehensive expansion design is expected to be completed in 2025. This is a crucial first step to increasing plant capacity to 180 million litres per day. This project remains a top priority for Council, and we're eager to explore more funding opportunities to enable us to move into the construction phase. Well, we could probably spend hours speaking about Lethbridge District Exhibition. After lengthy discussions and after evaluating multiple options, Council decided there would be no additional tax increase in 2025. With the approval of LDE's $4.1 million annual operating budget, City Council will balance the 25 to 26 budget using existing contingencies and one-time funding. The decision secures operational funding for LDE, which helps their team move forward with critical sales initiatives to book new events, secure sponsors, and grow other revenue streams. This will help continue reducing the deficit at the Agri-Food Hub and Trade Center, which has already been cut by $4.2 million in the last year. We also passed a motion to refinance the debt related to the construction of the Agri-Food Hub and Trade Center to save $15 million in interest during the next 10 years from the original 30-year loan, thus reducing that amortization time by 20 years. This is a major improvement for the long-term financial impact to our taxpayers. We heard loud and clear that a tax increase for LDE was not something our community would support. In the end, there was no win-win option. Our contingency and surplus funding is there for emergencies, and that is what we're faced with. I'm confident that during the next 2 years, we can continue to find cost savings and efficiencies to reduce the money needed to operate the Agri-Food Hub. I want to add that the Agri-Food Hub and Trade Center is a world-class facility that presents tremendous opportunity for our community. Council has been and continues to be supporters of this project. It's important that we protect the significant financial investment the city has made in this project, as well as the investments the provincial government and other funders have made in our community. Again, this was not an easy process, but it was another example of the great efforts displayed by City Council and City Administration to achieve the best possible result for the community based on what we were facing. There are other aspects to the LDE as well, including an update city policies and procedures as needed to better protect the corporation and Lethbridge taxpayers from undue financial risk. Future capital costs. 2 significant capital costs still required by LDE are the demolition of the old pavilions and the reconstruction of the parking lot. Council approved a recommendation to refer consideration of both the demolition and the parking lot reconstruction to the 2027 to 2030 Capital Improvement Program. Future operating models, in alignment with the options provided by the Deloitte report, the group that did the third-party review, Council approved that work proceed on exploring a new operating model for LDE. This includes the development of a recommended business plan, implementation plan, and budget for a municipally controlled corporation to consolidate event attraction across Lethbridge. The Deloitte report has also been turned over to the Economic Crimes Unit of the Lethbridge Police Service for further investigation. City administration may also initiate deeper examinations of the findings. I want to give a huge shout out to Kim Gallucci and his team for their efforts this past year. Lethbridge City Council and City of Lethbridge staff care deeply about the wellness of our community. From the Commission's report on January 9th, we have updated numbers. When comparing the reporting period of January to September 2024 to January to September 2023, overall crime violations decreased by 16%, and total crime severity index, the CSI, decreased by 17.7%. Thanks to LPS for providing these numbers, and thanks to Chief Medizadeh for your leadership. As part of a robust recruiting effort, in 2024, LPS hired 26 officers to increase street strength. 8 new LPS cadets were sworn in January 13th and started their training. Another class is scheduled for September. LPS currently has 186 sworn officers, including the recent adds, which brings the organization almost to a full capacity, which is 188. With the increase in street strength, 4 additional officers were transferred to the downtown policing unit at the start of the month. With the additions, the new unit includes 6 constables and a sergeant dedicated to downtown. Targeted enforcement projects specific to downtown in 2024 resulted in thousands of doses of drugs removed from the street, hundreds of arrests made, warrants executed, stolen property recovered, and weapons seized. These targeted efforts will continue in 2025. I look at our police service and the work that they do, and I want to make sure that I give a shout out to each and every one of them because it's not easy. We will always advocate for the resources we need, but Council does not direct the police service. This is a role of the Police Commission. I also want to thank members of the Downtown Lawlessness Reduction Task Force for their efforts last year. We look forward to the next stages as this becomes an administrative committee. The latest encampment update presented to Council in November showed that outreach staff helped more than 80 individuals connect to support services during the 3-month reporting period. A big shout out to Carly Kleisinger and Andrew Malcolm and their teams, as well as to Sergeant Ryan Dara of the LPS for all their dedicated efforts. There's been a 65% decrease in encampments in large public spaces like Galt Gardens and Civic Field. One of the goals of the encampment strategy was to ensure parks and public spaces are enjoyable for everyone. Our encampment response team continues to make progress in connecting people to the support services they need, while addressing encampments in the city. One key partner, LPS, has been using drones to identify encampments in more remote locations within the river valley. Once located, the encampment response team and the clean sweep team are deployed to these pinpointed GIS locations to remove the debris and limit the negative environmental impact and potential public safety concern. A big part of the equation, of course, is where do the unhoused people supposed to go? We are very thankful to the provincial government for partnering with the Lethbridge Housing Authority and the Blood Tribe Department of Health to expand the city's emergency shelter. Once complete, the project will expand the existing shelter, increasing the shelter capacity from around 120 spaces to more than 230, including dedicated room for on-site recovery-oriented services. The province invested more than $4 million to support local partners in addressing challenges related to homelessness in Lethbridge. The City of Lethbridge has also donated the land, valued at $1.4 million, to accommodate the expansion. The expansion of shelter services in Lethbridge will go a long way and help the city's most vulnerable get the supports they need. The City of Lethbridge has advocated for these steps, and we are pleased to see the rapid progress in addressing the needs in our community. While for many years there's been a debate as to which level of government is responsible for housing, in recent years there's been even more or less an acknowledgement that all levels of government need to be involved. As such, the City of Lethbridge has become more involved with the updating of the municipal housing strategy, approving a housing solutions coordinator, seeing a high decrease of success with an affordable and social housing capital grant, and making governance changes to positively impact the distribution of federal Reaching Home homelessness dollars into the community. Just up Stafford Drive from the shelter, you'll notice another building taking shape. This is the new 30-unit supportive housing project by Lethbridge Housing Authority, and it is of significant importance for Lethbridge. This will be the first recovery-focused, purpose-built supportive housing facility in Lethbridge. Supportive housing moves individuals who have experienced long-term homelessness into affordable individual suites with on-site and community-based services to help them regain stability and maintain housing. Once housed, they are better able to address other challenges they face, including long-term recovery from addictions and mental health and physical illnesses. Council allocated just over $1 million to be used as contingency funding. It is conditional on the inclusion of key project features that are crucial for promoting safety and well-being. Another project underway is the Edwards by Concept Investment Partners Limited for 50 housing units located at 1730 10th Avenue South. That would be the former Seasons Lethbridge Retirement Building Community. Following a municipal funding allocation of just under $1.3 million, Concept was awarded nearly $2.3 million in funding from the Government of Alberta's Affordable Housing Partnership Program. Even though the city does not own or manage this property, we are pleased to be able to contribute to it. The city's capital funding allocation was conditional to the securement of matching provincial or federal funding for the project. No operational funding has been requested from the City of Lethbridge. Bringing together municipal and provincial funding to support a private organization engaging in social enterprise is a unique way to address a critical issue in our community. As the national housing crisis continues, it is through creative efforts and methods like these where positive outcomes will continue to occur. For the past few years, Council has taken an active role in partnering and advocating for the recruitment and retention of family physicians. As a reminder, the municipal government does not have jurisdiction over healthcare in Alberta, and this work has not typically been done by us. But as this greatly impacts our residents, Council continues to support efforts to attract and retain medical professionals for the community. This will continue to require collaborative efforts with the provincial government to promote Lethbridge as a great place for physicians to practice and create their home. It includes a refreshed marketing and recruitment campaign in partnership with the Alberta Health Services South Zone, Chinook Primary Care Network, Economic Development Lethbridge, and other community partners. Advocacy efforts also include a regional partnership with towns in the area, with a recent joint advocacy letter signed by 12 other local mayors supporting the recruitment of specialty doctors to our area. On that note, while there's still a lot to accomplish, we have good news. We have the highest percentage of physician attraction per capita in Canada. The university's Southern Alberta Medical Program, which I will get to in a few slides, will also be a huge asset moving forward. AHS is working on some updated numbers for us, but as of July 2024, there's been 61 physicians recruited since March 2022. That includes family physicians, as well as specialty areas such as anesthesiology, child and adolescent mental health, diagnostic imaging, emergency medicine, geriatrics, obstetrics and gynecology, and cardiology. On that note, I recently presented cardiologist Dr. Sae Zilke with a key to the city in recognition of her tireless work to improve and advance cardiac care in Southern Alberta. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Lethbridge did did not have a single cardiologist until Dr. Zielke accepted a locum from Dr. Eric Wild. By later this year, we hope to have 9 cardiologists in the South Zone. Cardiac catheterization is a common method used to diagnose and treat various heart issues, such as clogged arteries. Currently, Lethbridge residents had to travel to Calgary for this treatment. Thanks to the hard work of Dr. Zielke, the Alberta government has supported the planning of a new cath lab in Lethbridge, contributing $2 million to the project in the 2023 budget. This planning now is complete, and the project is moving on to the next phase. The cath lab is a priority we've been advocating for. With the dedicated help of Dr. Zielke, we are closer than ever to making that a reality. I want to thank the Premier, Minister LaGrange, Dr. Lowe, and everyone involved for their support. Here once again, the video created to help with recruitment efforts. It's also a feel-good video before we get into everyone's favorite topic up next.
This is a story that started by a river, nestled in the prairies, at the foot of the mountains. In this place grew a city that from its beginning had an eye towards the future. Today, Lethbridge has grown into something better. A gateway to opportunity. A place that's learning, adapting. A place where athletes are forged and artists flourish. A place where
Oki means hello.
This is a story of a city built around balance between industry and community, arts and science, work and play. Lethbridge is far from the noise, but close to the action. This is a story of resilience, a city reconciling with its past to meet the challenge of the future. This is the story of a city by the river, one whose best chapters are not behind, but ahead. Come be a part of it.
Lethbridge City Council met as Economic and Finance Standing Policy Committee in November for an overview of the current economic conditions and the impact they have on the city's financial position and resources. Darryl Matthews, the Chief Financial Officer and Treasurer, highlighted the following topics: economic conditions, taxation pressure, operating and capital pressures, and the impact on reserves. In 2019, there was a 1.8% municipal tax increase, which is the lowest in 20 years. The City of Lethbridge then maintained a 0% increase to the municipal portion of the residential taxes for the next 3 years, 2020, 2021, and 2022, to minimize the financial impacts of the pandemic to property owners. When you average a 5.1% increase for each year from 2023 to 2026, the average from 2019 to 2026 is just under 2.8% per year. The City of Lethbridge has received an update from the Government of Alberta in regards to its Local Government Fiscal Framework, LGFF program, which replaces the Municipal Sustainability Initiative, the MSI. Under the LGFF capital program, the City of Lethbridge is estimated to receive capital funding of nearly $14.3 million in 2025. In the future, the city's capital budget will encounter pressures for capital investment. Therefore, projects will need to be prioritized. Here's a detailed illustration to break down what the municipal portion of your tax bill paid for in 2024. You'll again see the largest share going towards our vital emergency services, with our police, fire and emergency management services at almost 38%. Individual properties may see a tax change on their bills for a number of reasons, such as a change in property assessment, the value of your home, business, or multifamily complex, an increase to the Green Acres Foundation budget, or to the Alberta school budget, and new construction or demolition. Property tax bills are specific to each property. Anyone with questions can contact 311 to get information specific to their assessment and tax bill. You can also visit www.lethbridge.ca/taxes to learn more about property taxes. I've had a lot of calls and emails in the past few weeks regarding property assessments. This is a very complicated subject as there are so many variables, including home features, renovations, a hot housing market, and that your current assessment is based on the market value as of July 1st of the previous year. We have a wealth of information on our website, including the city's property information web map online to compare your assessments to your neighbors and other similar properties that have recently sold. You can also contact our assessment department with any questions for more details on your assessment. They'd be happy, of course, to assist you and answer any of your inquiries. One of the biggest issues that many people are unaware of is that Lethbridge has the highest percentage of untaxable buildings, such as schools and churches and park spaces in the province. We're at about 18% compared to between 10 and 12% for most of the rest of Alberta. Of course, we are proud to have all of the schools and especially love the economic and other spin-offs, particularly from the post-secondary schools, as well as the diversity in our city. So there is an incredible positive trade-off. The next council will be able to decide what capital expenses they may feel need to be approved along with the operating budgets for those projects. In the past, council approved the capital budget and then handed off the operating budget to the incoming council. It is also to provide administration adequate time to prepare and provide more opportunities to share information about both the capital and operating budgets. Leading into the next capital and operating budget cycle, the City of Lethbridge will conduct several communication and engagement activities designed to gather input from Lethbridge community members on their budget priorities. The budget engagement activities will take place commencing in 2026. The feedback collected during these activities will be summarized in a report that will be provided to City Council and offer full transparency into the overall process. Last summer, the Lethbridge Lodging Association, LLA, became the naming rights sponsor for the facility that opened in 1974 as the Canada Games Sportsplex and has been most recently known as the NMAX Centre since 2000. The City and the Lethbridge Lodging Association, an association of Lethbridge hotel properties and operators of the marketing brand visitlethbridge.com, have entered a 5-year, $750,000 sponsorship agreement. To reiterate, the naming sponsorship of the visitlethbridge.com arena came from marketing dollars from the association, not from taxpayer dollars. Sponsorships help support the operations of the facility, reducing the need for property tax funding from the residents. On behalf of Council, I want to thank everyone at Lethbridge Lodging Association for this sponsorship agreement. We're so proud and grateful that this local organization stepped up to be involved in our community in such a tremendous way. We also want to take the opportunity to thank again NMAX for their sponsorship of the facility for the past 20 plus years. The sponsorship for Spitz Stadium Ballpark was also renewed last summer. The new 5-year, $250,000 deal will see the ballpark keep its moniker through the 2029 season. The funding is coming from the founder of Spitz International, Thomas Droog. The total between the two deals is $1 million for 5 years, so this is very welcome. With many positive indicators for 2025, Lethbridge City Council and City Administration continue to work for you to help build and maintain a thriving business community in the city. The message is simple. We're open for business and development. The e-apply system allows applicants to apply for their approvals online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've had some very positive feedback from builders on how this level of access benefits their clients. Nearly 31% of the permits were approved on the same day, with 32.2% within 1 to 3 days, 25.5% within 4 to 10 days, and 6.4% within 11 to 25 days, and only 5% at more than 25 days. But City Council acknowledges there's always room to improve support for businesses, whether it's in the form of access or grant opportunities. Council has directed the City Manager to draft a report for the Economic Standing Policy Committee that would include a program with a comprehensive, fair, consistent, and broad approach of all incentives for new development of businesses, as well as revitalization, redevelopment, or expansion of existing development and businesses in Lethbridge, designed to provide a long-term benefit to the community by creating economic stimulus and support investment. A reminder that the City of Lethbridge offers a variety of grants, incentives, and financial supports for organization incentives that are providing social and economic benefit to the community. This section arguably is the most collective impact for our city and for the region. All of these logos, and apologies if any were missed, represent some of the most important stakeholders for our community and region. As always, City Council and City Administration value you and look forward to working with you as we move forward. Economic Development Lethbridge and the Lethbridge Chamber of Commerce has partnered on a Brighter Together survey of local businesses since 2019. This initiative probes local organizations to provide feedback about their current sentiments and overall business health, to better understand local conditions, and to communicate the results to key stakeholders. The top two strengths continue to be quality of life and collaborative environment, while the top two challenges were utility costs and municipal tax environment. Hopefully the earlier slide on taxes helped explain some of the why. Our municipal property tax per capita is in the middle of the pack amongst other Alberta municipalities. Our utility costs for water, sewer, garbage, and collection and recycling are among the lowest in Alberta, while our commercial electricity rates are competitive with most other municipalities in the province. 126 businesses took the survey this year. These businesses represent 22.5% of the current workforce in Lethbridge, or 16,509 employees. 30 businesses that took the survey are considered major employers, meaning they have more than 100 employees at their location. 42 of the businesses who participated this year are in the downtown Lethbridge. Workforce, costs, and availability again are the top needs of businesses in the city, and EDL will continue to work on this through various programs while upskilling and reskilling our workforce and working with our post-secondary institutions and industry on student retention. Speaking of post-secondary institutions, our ability to produce world-class research and innovation between our three outstanding post-secondary institutions is phenomenal. I look forward to continuing to work together with the University of Lethbridge, Lethbridge Polytechnic, and Red Crow College to leverage the work they do and bring focus to how they're changing the game of technology and innovation on the world stage. A program I really want to highlight is in our City Scholars. Now in its third year, this partnership is a collaboration between the City of Lethbridge, the University of Lethbridge, and the Lethbridge Polytechnic. The program sees students transforming from learners into community builders through hands-on experience and professional development. While real-world experience and learning opportunities benefit students, the community also gets value from the program. When students are connected to the community, it opens the door to them staying after they've graduated. Student retention is a key topic when we talk to a variety of stakeholders in the city. We want to see the teachers, nurses, artists, and business students call Lethbridge home after they've graduated. We also hope this next item is a major conduit for student retention. Last year, Alberta's Advanced Education Minister announced funding to establish the Southern Alberta Medical Program, SAMP, at the University of Lethbridge. A partnership between the Universities of Calgary and Lethbridge, SAMP will train undergraduate medical students at the university in Lethbridge and in rural communities across Southern Alberta. The City of Lethbridge has played an important role in championing this initiative as a way of building physician capacity in our city and within the region. The program will recruit local students and those likely to reside in a rural setting after completing medical school. Research strongly suggests that physicians that train in a regional or distributed model have a much higher chance of remaining in the community that train them. Recently, local physician Dr. Richard Buck was announced as a regional lead and will guide the development of the partnership in delivering programs and connecting with the area's medical practitioners who will play key roles as preceptors for the program. I'm very pleased that this important hire is a physician who very much understands our regional medical and broader community. I want to again congratulate our friends at Lethbridge Polytechnic for the name change last year. The Polytechnic designation is all about applied research and career orientation to help industry and businesses today. We look forward to further collaboration with that institution as a part of a bright future for the city. Now I'm going to give everyone a great quick break for my voice as we play another video. It's about the love of Lethbridge.
Lethbridge is a place unlike any other. It's not that we think we're better than other places, but we can't help but be proud of the things that make us special. Not the coulees, iconic span, the wind-carved landscape, or world-renowned flora, but the people, like you, like her, like them. Our friends, our neighbors, our family. We're proud to work for them. We'd love to work with you for the love of Lethbridge.
That video serves as a perfect transition to the next section. As we enter the final stretch of this council term, I want to take this opportunity to highlight some of the successes that have been achieved. This is just a small showcase of some of the great work being done in our community. And just another reminder that it's okay to talk about some of the good news. This year we celebrated 50 years from the arena that began as a Canada Games Sportsplex and is now the visitlethbridge.com arena. If you didn't get a chance to do a tour, you missed out. It was amazing to see how the building has transitioned over the years while still maintaining its history. It has been home to and has hosted the WHL Lethbridge Hurricanes Hockey Club and Broncos earlier, NCAA basketball, World Curling Championships, the Brier, the Scotties, University Sportsmen's Hockey Championship, Professional Bull Riding, Skate Canada International, Cirque du Soleil, Elton John, Kiss, and Jerry Seinfeld, just to name a few. In 2007, a relatively unknown at the time 17-year-old Taylor Swift, yes, Taylor Swift opened for Brad Paisley. We also have Wayne Gretzky, Buzz Aldrin, and Chris Hadfield have also spoken here. And who could forget the moment in 2016 when the then WHL Hurricanes goalie Stuart Skinner scored on an empty Medicine Hat Tigers net. These awe-inspiring moments took place under one roof. The facility has played an important role in Lethbridge's cultural landscape during the past 50 years and remains a key anchor in drawing the community together. Located in Legacy Park, this first of its kind Lethbridge facility will boost the city's recreational and social opportunities. It can accommodate a variety of sports including roller and street hockey, lacrosse, and roller derby. The court is inclusive and open to the public for spontaneous play and pickup games. It will also be available for bookings to host group practices, games, and skill development beginning in the summer of 2025. Our Parks and Cemetery team was thrilled to announce its formal partnership with the Lethbridge Trail Alliance, the LTA. The LTA is a community group dedicated to creating safe and lasting trails in Lethbridge. This collaboration marks a significant milestone in ongoing efforts to improve the River Valley Trail Network. Through a shared commitment to enhancing local trails, Parks and the LTA aim to improve and expand the existing network. The end goal is safer, more sustainable, and more enjoyable pathways for all users. A 4,500 square foot fenced dog run is now allowing resident canines to exercise, play, and interact with one another in a more natural setting. Thanks to Councillors John Middleton Hope and Jeff Carlson for bringing this idea forward and for Council's unanimous support. This type of environment supports the dog's physical and mental health, enhancing their social habits and improving their chances of adoption. It underscores the city's ongoing commitment to the well-being of shelter animals. The shelter continues to regularly operate at capacity, and it's hoped the new space will result in more adoptions. Leading pedestrian intervals, LPI, also known as pedestrian head start signal, allow pedestrians to begin to cross the street before vehicles get a green light. It may not sound like a big deal, but is particularly helpful for older pedestrians in the intersections. It also increases the visibility of pedestrians in the intersection and reinforces their right-of-way before turning vehicles. Lethbridge Fire and Emergency Services have found a practical way to keep its ambulances fleet running smoothly. By remounting ambulance boxes onto new chassis, the department has saved money, reduced waste, and added reliable vehicles to its fleet in a quicker fashion. This approach demonstrates the City of Lethbridge's commitment to sustainability and fiscal responsibility. Instead of replacing entire ambulances when the chassis wear out, LFES reuses the ambulance boxes that remain in good condition. This creates a like-new vehicle that meets all the standards needed for emergency response. LFES has completed its first 2 remounts and plans to remount 5 more ambulances by the end of 2026. Thanks to Chief Greg Adair for his innovative leadership. The ongoing upgrades to Fritz Sick Pool will provide a safer, more welcoming and inclusive visitor experience. Enhancements are planned throughout the building, including barrier-free showers and toilet stalls, widened access points to the pool and locker rooms, new open and accessible entrance into a larger lobby with a barrier-free counter, and non-slip flooring throughout all locker, washroom, and shower areas, and upgraded wheelchair ramps. We appreciate the community's patience and support as these upgrades are completed. Council approved a capital investment of $1.2 million for the Lethbridge School Division to upsize the gymnasium to the soon-to-be modernized Galbraith School. The City of Grand Prairie reached out to inquire about our program. The city aids in construction of the gym spaces, and in turn, residents can use the facilities for programs. We accept it as the norm, but it's not that in many markets. The project leverages city capital funding with a provincially funded project to meet community needs at a reduction for taxpayers. The city's Recreation and Culture Department will work with the Lethbridge School Division to develop the terms for the funding, including increased community access as part of the long-standing joint use agreement between the parties. Applications are still being accepted for the Clean Energy Improvement Program, and we encourage those interested to act on this unique opportunity while funding is still available. Launched in February 2023, the CEIP provides eligible homeowners with a financial tool to support energy efficiency and renewable energy upgrades to their properties. With the goal of creating a more climate-resilient community and lowering energy costs, the list of eligible projects for the CEIP includes upgrading windows, doors, adding solar panels, increasing insulation, upgrading lighting fixtures, installing a tankless hot water system, and more. CEIP is one of our most popular programs. Property owners can invest in energy efficiency and renewable energy upgrades with flexible financing options. I personally learned the hard way. Don't delay in applying as the funds go quickly. I understand we are getting fairly close to capacity on this, so best to act soon. This heartwarming campaign is aimed at recognizing and celebrating those unsung heroes in our neighborhoods who go the extra mile to make our community just a little brighter. The campaign invites residents to nominate neighbors who help others shovel snow, keep an eye on the gutters lining their streets, or make sure the not so glamorous task of doggy doo-doo cleanup is always done. To nominate a mighty neighbor, simply visit lethbridge.ca/mightyneighbor. This is the final section today and touches on the election and ways to stay informed. Lethbridge has a storied history with its city councils, beginning with our first mayor, Charles McGrath, in 1891. Our council members have had all sorts of varied backgrounds that have brought unique perspectives and experiences to the roles. When I was first asked to run for council, many supporters cited my business background as being a huge asset. I'm so very proud to be the 26th mayor of Lethbridge. I truly love the work. The Lethbridge's website has been recently updated with a vast array of resources for anyone looking at a possible run this year. Go to lethbridge.ca/election. It will be updated regularly all the way up to October 20th. From a personal experience viewpoint, the political environment has changed considerably since I was first elected to council in 2013, as there will always be new and unforeseen matters arising, be prepared for change and change to be the only constant. Those interested in running for council really do need to understand the time commitment and broad scope of issues that council deals with. And use LDE as a good example. For a case study for someone wanting to run for council, it was not an easy decision in any way, shape, or form. If you're on council, what would have you done and why? Then after your decision, also be prepared to explain that rationale to the taxpayers. That's just the job. A couple of comments I often hear in the community is, I didn't hear about that, or this is the first time I've heard of this. Well, I want to remind our residents that we do have many, many ways for community members to stay informed. They include my monthly column for the Lethbridge website and the Lethbridge Herald that highlights the great things happening in our community. Also, our City of Lethbridge website, which includes the news, subscription, and closer pages. Social media pages for the City of Lethbridge, City Council and Standing Policy Committee meetings, which are open to the public. Agendas are published a week ahead of each meeting. Recaps of each council meeting with council highlights. Our City of Lethbridge engagement website at getinvolvedlethbridge.ca, which seeks feedback and has information about upcoming projects. Our 311 team via call or chat to have your questions answered. The Lethbridge Loop app for reminders on waste and recycling, as well as notifications for other planned services such as power outages, street sweeping, and water main work. We also have our next community conversation event coming up on Wednesday, January 29th. For anyone who hasn't been to one before, here's a video to provide a quick overview. The community conversation is a great way to bring together all of the city projects requiring community engagement in one convenient location, making it easier for residents to participate. Public participation helps build a strong and connected community, informs council decision-making, and helps improve the city we all call home. We're excited to have a whole array of projects and departments available for our residents to explore, get informed on, give feedback, and connect with the city staff and partners. As Councillor Ryan Parker likes to say, We need to be experts on listening to the experts. This event is directly geared for that. We will have representatives from most city departments available, including 311, as well as myself and several members of council. It's more important than ever to engage in our community and keep up to date on reliable information. I hope I was able to provide some valuable information here in the 2025 State of the City Address. As we head further into 2025, we'll continue our advocacy efforts and continue working towards making Lethbridge the best city it can be. As always, please be safe and kind to one another.